Imagine a life where you stop chasing, stop clinging, and yet everything seems to fall into place. It sounds counterintuitive, almost impossible, but there's a quiet, profound paradox at the heart of human existence: the less you grip, the more life flows. This isn't a new age mantra or a fleeting self-help trick, it's a timeless truth rooted in Stoic philosophy, a wisdom that's guided thinkers, leaders, and everyday people for centuries. On Wisdom Waves Aura, we explore how letting go isn't about giving up but about unlocking a deeper kind of strength, one that brings clarity, peace, and even success. Let's dive into this paradox and see how it can transform the way you live. Picture yourself chasing something, a promotion, a relationship, a dream. You pour every ounce of energy into it, analyzing every detail, worrying about every outcome. But the harder you try, the more it slips away. The person you're desperate to impress barely notices you. The opportunity you've been chasing seems to vanish just as you reach for it. It's as if life is playing a cruel trick: the more you want something, the further it drifts. This is the paradox the Stoics understood so well. When you cling too tightly, to outcomes, to approval, to control, you push away the very things you seek. But when you loosen your grip, when you stop caring in that anxious, grasping way, life responds. Opportunities emerge, connections deepen, and calmness replaces chaos. This isn't about apathy or giving up, it's about caring differently. The Stoics, like Epictetus, taught that true power lies in focusing on what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your intentions, and letting go of everything else. Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." Think about that for a moment. Freedom doesn't come from forcing the world to bend to your will. It comes from releasing the need to control what you can't. When you stop obsessing over how others perceive you or whether every plan will unfold perfectly, you create space for life to surprise you. And it often does, in ways you couldn't have orchestrated. Consider a simple example: texting someone you've just met. You craft the perfect message, overanalyze their reply, and agonize over every minute they take to respond. The weight of expectation makes every word feel like a performance. The connection, which should be light and curious, becomes strained. Now imagine approaching that same conversation with ease: no need to impress, no need to control the outcome. You listen, you share, you let the moment unfold. Suddenly, the interaction feels natural. The other person senses your calm and is drawn to it. This is the Stoic shift, from grasping to flowing, from performing to being. It's not about caring less, it's about caring wisely. This principle ripples through every part of life. At work, obsessing over a promotion can make you rigid, anxious, even self-absorbed. You lose sight of the present moment, the work itself, the people around you. But when you focus on doing your best and let the outcome be what it will be, you often surpass your own expectations. Not because you forced success, but because you embodied it. In love, the same truth holds. Clinging to someone out of fear, fear of loss, fear of not being enough, burdens the relationship. But loving from a place of wholeness, where your happiness doesn't depend on their every move, creates a connection that's light, alive, and mutual. This is what Wisdom Waves Aura is all about: discovering how to live with intention, not obsession, and finding freedom in the flow. The Stoics called this alignment with nature, living in harmony with the way things are, not the way you wish them to be. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. It's recognizing that your control is limited, but your freedom in how you respond is immense. When you let go of the need to own, to win, to prove, you act from a deeper place of truth. Life, in turn, opens up. Opportunities don't come because you chased them relentlessly but because you became the kind of person who naturally attracts them. The less you cling, the more life flows. And in that flow, you often find not just what you wanted, but something far better: peace. Let's meet Anna, a 32-year-old woman whose story brings this Stoic wisdom to life. Diagnosed with a chronic autoimmune condition, Anna spent her first year fighting her illness like it was an enemy. Every flare-up felt like a personal failure, every hospital visit a reminder of her loss of control. The more she resisted, the more exhausted she became, physically, emotionally, spiritually. But then something shifted. She stopped battling and started observing. Instead of seeing her illness as a curse, she studied it like a natural phenomenon, taking notes on her symptoms, listening to her body, adjusting her expectations. Her disease didn't vanish, but her suffering softened. Peace returned, not when her body healed, but when her mind let go. Anna's transformation echoes a truth championed by philosophers like Michel de Montaigne and the Stoics. Montaigne, the 16th century French thinker, believed we suffer less from what happens to us than from our insistence on how things should be. By stepping back and observing life with curiosity rather than control, we find freedom. Epictetus put it bluntly, freedom is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. This isn't cold or detached, it's liberating. To disregard doesn't mean to ignore with contempt, it means to release the false belief that you can control everything. When you observe life as it is, not as you wish it to be, you begin to live more fully. Anna didn't give up, she saw clearly. She stopped wishing for a perfect body and started participating in her imperfect life. Her freedom came not from escaping pain but from releasing the fantasy of total control. This idea of observation without attachment is radical in a world addicted to urgency and performance. It's the opposite of being possessed by outcomes or entangled in expectations. It's mastery through clarity. When you stop trying to control every variable, pleasing every person, avoiding every discomfort, you create space for insight. You see that your thoughts aren't facts, your fears are often projections, and the world unfolds with or without your interference. On Wisdom Waves Aura, we dive into these timeless ideas to help you find that clarity, to live with presence rather than pressure. This brings us to another Stoic gem, the law of reverse effort. The harder you try to force something, the more it eludes you. Think about lying awake at night, desperate to fall asleep. The more you think, I must sleep now, the more your mind races, and the more awake you become. Or picture yourself rehearsing for a presentation, straining to appear confident. The more you try to look certain, the more your insecurity shines through. This is the law of reverse effort in action, the more you push, the more you fail. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology gave it a name. Epictetus said, the more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. When you cling to outcomes, whether it's being admired, succeeding flawlessly, or avoiding uncertainty, you become vulnerable. In chasing control, you lose it. Now imagine a young speaker stepping onto a stage, consumed by one thought, don't forget your lines. Their palms sweat, their heart races, and inevitably, they stumble. By fixating on what they fear, they make it more likely to happen. Contrast that with a seasoned speaker who focuses on sharing an idea they believe in. They breathe deeply, accept that imperfection might come, and devote themselves to the audience, not their own performance. Paradoxically, by not striving for perfection, they come close to it. Their authenticity shines, and their message resonates. This isn't just about public speaking, it applies to relationships, creativity, even daily tasks. The more you cling to being loved, the more you suffocate the connection. The more a writer forces brilliance, the more they stare at a blank page. But when you release the demand for perfection and let things flow imperfectly, beauty emerges. The law of reverse effort teaches us to refine our energy, to focus on what we can control, our choices, our values, our character, while loosening our grip on results. When your worth is tied to external outcomes like applause or flawless performance, you're restless, insecure, bound by reverse effort. But when your worth is rooted in your discipline, your integrity, your inner alignment, no failure can shake you. By caring less about outcomes and more about intention, you unlock a freedom that can't be taken away. And here's the kicker, external success often follows. Not because you chased it, but because you stopped needing it. On Wisdom Waves Aura, we explore how this shift from obsession to intention can change everything. The moment you stop obsessing over how others see you, you become more authentic. The moment you let go of needing every plan to unfold perfectly, you improvise with grace. Things often fall into place better than you could have planned, not because you forced them, but because you stopped needing to. Clinging creates suffering. We fear pain, yet we hold on to the very things that cause it: jobs that drain us, relationships that hurt, identities that no longer fit. Why? Because we're terrified of losing the familiar. Fear begins where attachment begins. The more tightly we hold something, the more power it has over us. We think we'll collapse without it, but the truth is simpler: what we cling to traps us. Take Jack, a gifted painter stuck in a soul-numbing corporate job. Each morning feels like a sentence, yet he stays, clinging to his paycheck, his routine, his illusion of stability. He's not afraid of poverty or rejection, he's afraid of uncertainty. The what-ifs haunt him. What if he fails? What if no one buys his art? His suffering doesn't come from his job but from the lie he tells himself, that his soul's calling must wait behind the world's expectations. Jack's story is ours. We stay in relationships that bring more pain than joy because the silence of being alone feels scarier than the chaos of staying. We hold on to habits, cities, beliefs long past their expiration date, convinced change is more dangerous than decay. But clinging is decay, it rots from the inside. The Stoics knew freedom comes from letting go, from recognizing that no job, no person, no title can guarantee peace. Peace comes when you stop needing those things to feel whole. Jack hasn't quit his job yet, but he's painting again, in the early mornings, not for money but because it makes him feel alive. The fear is dissolving, and trust in himself is blooming. Letting go isn't apathy, it's faith in your strength to face what comes next. On WisdomWavesAura, we explore how to release these illusions and find clarity. This brings us to the final Stoic truth: accepting uncertainty is the key to freedom. We think freedom lies in control, in orchestrating every detail so nothing unexpected disrupts our plans. We chase stability, demand certainty, as if life owes it to us. But the Stoics saw it differently. True freedom begins when you stop needing things to go your way. When you accept life's unpredictability, you break free from anxiety, expectation, and disappointment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Strength doesn't come from mastering circumstances but from mastering your response to them. Embracing uncertainty isn't just enduring it, it's welcoming it as the raw material of growth. Happiness isn't the product of a perfectly controlled life, it's the byproduct of navigating an imperfect one. When you cling to outcomes, you suffer twice, from life's unpredictability and from your refusal to accept it. But when you loosen your grip, when you stop over-caring, not in apathy but in wisdom, you flow with life instead of fighting it. You trust the storm will pass, and even if it doesn't, you'll find your way. This isn't passive surrender, it's active resilience, like a reed bending in the wind instead of a rigid tree snapping in the storm. Accepting uncertainty lets you stay grounded when plans collapse or relationships shift. It opens doors you'd never have noticed if life had gone according to plan. Leonardo da Vinci lived this truth. He didn't confine himself to being a painter or limit his mind to one field. His curiosity led him to anatomy, engineering, flight, architecture. His genius wasn't born from rigid plans but from embracing the unknown. Had he clung to a predictable path, the world might never have seen his brilliance. On WisdomWavesAura, we draw inspiration from lives like his, showing how flexibility and openness to uncertainty unlock creative and spiritual freedom. When you let go of the need for clarity, you make space for discovery. When you stop obsessing over the future, you become present, focusing on the small decisions that shape your character and your life. The modern world equates control with security, but the Stoics remind us that true security lies within your values, your choices, your mindset. The rest is beyond you, and that's not a reason to despair but to breathe easier. Accepting uncertainty doesn't mean giving up, it means showing up without guarantees and acting with integrity anyway. It means loving without clinging, working without entitlement, dreaming without fear. It means trusting that life's unpredictability might give you not what you planned but something better. When you stop caring in the desperate, obsessive way the world teaches, everything begins to align, not because life changes, but because you do. So, what's the takeaway from Wisdom Waves Aura? Peace isn't found in controlling the outside world but in how you respond to it. Let go of what you can't change. Stop caring about what's beyond your control, and watch life align in unexpected ways. Clarity, strength, and calm will follow. Now it's your turn. What's one thing you've learned to stop caring about, and how has it changed your life? Share your story in the comments below, it might inspire someone else on their stoic journey. If these ideas resonate, like, share, and subscribe to Wisdom Waves Aura for more stoic wisdom every week. Thank you for joining us. May your mind stay calm, your heart stay steady, and your days be guided by reason and virtue. Until next time, keep flowing with life.